Have you been keeping up with the Melissa drama about, I don't know, she's getting herself worked up about potentially being pregnant, which I don't think she is. No, we've become friendly, but I don't recall, unless I forgot, but I don't recall her bringing that up. She's always talking about pregnancy and like babies and stuff, so I don't really internalize a lot of what she says about it, because she goes on about her, you know her, she goes on about her dreams a lot. I was talking to my mom the other day on the phone, and she brought up a good point about how Melissa's got PCOS. She's a little bit older. Just the combination of all of that. I don't know why she is stressing potentially being pregnant with Joey, but she is. I think with someone like Melissa, something I didn't even realize over our years of being like enemies to frenemies to now friends, I think with her it's in her nature to stress. I'm just worried that if she is, hypothetically, from what, I don't know, again, I don't know about their personal life, but if she is, and this is like the miracle month for them, I'm just worried about her life. I've started to really care about Melissa. And if she's having a baby while my brother's in jail, I don't envy her position one bit at all. Brings me back to when Brian was in the military and I was dealing with being a single mom, even though he wasn't the biological dad. But at this point in my life, I would never get myself into that situation. So I'm not blaming her, but she knew what she was getting into by taking her clothes off, you know? Well, I bring it up because, I mean, she's not a stranger to not continuing a pregnancy. And I feel like, given the circumstances with my brother, he's going to try and manipulate her into keeping the baby. My mother is going to do it. I'm not going to. I'm going to keep it real with her, and I just think if she brings it up to you, maybe you should too, so that she can at least hear some level-headed minds. I get what you're saying, but you know, I don't like believing that stuff for myself, so I wouldn't tell someone else to do it, if that makes sense. I know that's like old school, but that's just what I believe. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't expect you to tell her something you don't believe in. But I will say, you've seen the horrors that go on with this family and kids. The kids are treated like a football. Everyone is fighting over them, and I'm not including you. Just saying, like, my mom gets really hung up on things. Joey becomes a monster. This isn't the right circumstance for her to bring a baby into the world. That's why I say it. I get what you're saying. So yeah, ironically enough, I haven't really told anyone this. Like, it just kind of happened. I'm keeping it to myself, but the stuff with Gabby, like working at her gallery, never panned out. She could never get me in, and I don't hold it against her, but I now work in a mailroom in a college, so I like shuffle the mail and stuff. So it's been really cool. It's just it's been a lot of like hours, you know. You don't realize how much mail goes through like a couple buildings. Well, congrats on that. You know, I always was looked at like I was crazy for enjoying my career. You know, my former mother-in-law, family first, made me feel real selfish by pursuing work and enjoying it and being more than just a housewife. Nothing against being a housewife, I wanted that at one point, but you can get a lot of pride out of work, so congratulations on that. Yeah, it feels good to work. I know that's a crazy sentence, but I was always so tied up in my own dreams and stuff that I kind of pushed like working to the back burner. But it's accomplishing, knowing like the money that I'm paying towards my new place and the money that I'm saving towards like whenever Harry Styles goes on tour again. I feel a sense of pride that it's my money, but you really should feel pride. Don't ever let anyone tell you that it's bad to care about your career. As long as you're not putting your career before your family, or you have it on an equal level in some way, or you're finding a balance, then it's okay. Speaking of family, Gabby was telling me that you're like concerned about, and you don't have to answer me, but you're concerned about possibly being pregnant with Joey's baby, who's in prison. I mean, him, not the baby. Yeah, it's silly. I guess, look, TMI, me and Joey were together once, physically. I know you don't want to hear that, picture that, he's your ex-husband, I'm sorry for saying it. But you know when your mind goes to like the worst case scenario, not that having a baby with Joey would be the worst case scenario, but in the moment right now, it definitely would be. So I think that's why I'm so fixated on it. It's like, hypothetically, someone never went under with anesthesia. Your mind's obviously gonna be like, yo, what if I die? And that's kind of how I feel right now with the pregnancy stuff. Chances are very slim, but boy, oh boy, I don't know why I have like a countdown, you know? I can't believe I'm saying this, putting it in the universe, but I'm doing it because I want to benefit you as your friend. Nothing's written in stone when it comes to that stuff early on, as you know from experience. Well, babies are permanent if you take care of them, which I would plan on doing. So even though Joey's in jail and you don't know your relationship status in a way, you would keep it. Really. Miranda, of all the people, I never thought you would say something like that. I know your stance on that stuff. Because it's Joey, like it's someone I know, someone I am deeply in love with at times. It's different for me than if I didn't know who the dad was, or if it was a big mistake with someone I'm not together with or have no real deep feelings towards. I don't know if I could. I know I've done it, but this time around I feel like this is my last chance. Okay, another thing, 30, however old you are, 34, 35, and PCOS, I know that it may seem damning, or you may read that you're over the hill and it's too late, but you should know, as well as anyone, that that is a load of crap. Yes, there's science and your body has a ticking clock and stuff, but someone like you, I know it's prone to miracles, and if you have a baby, if you're pregnant right now, that is a testament to that. So don't feel like you're getting too old and this is it. You have to do it. No, you should never settle. And not having a child versus the situation you're in seems a lot better. Not that I'm saying that that's the route you need to go, you know? I've already done it once with Joey. To do it 2 babies with Joey, and to not go through it 2 of them with Joey, that feels horrible to me. I don't know if I can do that. I'm not outright encouraging things. I'm just encouraging that you stick to your gut. Don't let anyone influence you. Not even me, not even Gabby. If you feel like you really want to have a baby with Joey, do it. But if there's that 1% doubt where you're on the fence, don't do it. You don't want another Chris situation. You know, the fact that you're saying it, I expect it from Gabby. But the fact that you're saying it, I appreciate that you're looking out for me. Which is why I would never betray you. And which is why I am here, rather than elsewhere. Dumb question, but were you getting offers to ruin my life or betray me? I won't go into it, but let's just say you have your enemies out there. Keep your eyes peeled, I guess is the term. You know, call me crazy. I thought you were cold last time towards me. I thought you were like, I don't know, quieter, a little bit more reserved, wall up, since it's ironic because we in the prison. But this time around, this visit, you're like a mime. You're like deathly silent on me right now. And it's a little concerning. Because, Joey, there's a lot of time on my hands when I'm not at work. I don't have a big social life. And driving here, it's an hour drive. Here and back. 2 hours out of my life just thinking in the car. Then when I go home, it's an empty home outside of my lovely puppy. So I've just been thinking about stuff. Unsure about stuff? I know that pertains to me. I know that the stuff is me. Because there's a lot of stuff in the world, and you wouldn't be telling me about some other stuff. You're talking about me, aren't you? Yes. Alright, so what are you uncertain about? Because I'm in here. And it's hard to get bad news when you're in here. Like a caged animal. It's like being a lion in a cage at a zoo, and your other lions are outside the cage and you see the trainers whipping them or something, you know? I feel like a lion, like an animal. So what is it? Well, what are you uncertain about? I guess I've been thinking about us. Because look where you are and look at what the future may hold. And then obviously it's my body, and there could be something going on that changes the future, and the circumstances that I'm in are not ideal, so I've been thinking about the pregnancy. You know, I can understand us because you're a woman, you're young, of course you want to get down and stuff, and I'm in jail and there's no visits like that. I can see that. It's hard to be alone out there without romance. But when it comes to the pregnancy, let's not talk like that, okay? Like, I'm not going to be able to, I could be in here forever. And they trick me into, I had to like really make sure that I was allowed this visit today, because they trick you into doing things and they get in trouble. This could be my last time procreating. You know? From where you sit, Joey. From where you sit. Do not guilt trip me. I feel bad enough about things. You are not going to sit there and guilt trip me about things. No. Speak to me like a normal person. With normal conversation. No tactics. No manipulation. How is it guilting? How is it guilting? There's the guilt trips that my mom used to do about, oh, I'm going to be lonely on the holidays, this and that. But there's a difference between those guilt trips and the guilt trips where I'm just spewing facts. It really might as well be my last time ever again to have a child. And you're going to take that from me. Don't woeys me. Don't pity yourself. Don't pull that card on me because you have children. I don't. I have Chris and I gave him away. So don't try to make me feel bad. You're in the situation that you're in because of your own actions. I don't have any with you. I want children with you. That's my dream right now. I don't want you to get rid of any babies, you know? That would break my heart. Well, I don't know. It's a lot to put on me. I don't know. Okay? That's my stance right now. That's what my thinking has led to. You saying that about a baby? About our baby? You should watch what you say, because you're going to wind up in hell. Don't you dare talk to me like that. I told you not to guilt me. And that's all you're trying to do right now. I don't want to hear it. I don't feel bad. Just saying, Melissa, you haven't led the perfect life, and then you think this is the cherry that needs to go on top? It's my baby too. Goodbye, Joey. It's my baby too. You know, despite all the security and coldness when you arrive, you know, the concrete fence and stuff, it's not a bad living environment for Junior and Charlotte. Well, Gina, thank you for the kind words. It almost feels unlike you. But Look, I don't believe in people changing. I don't. But I'm pleasantly surprised when people exhibit behaviors that aren't like who I remember them as. Oh, thank you for letting me see my niece and nephew. I feel like I've wasted a lot of time not seeing them, and it's nice that you've given me this chance. Of course. Depending on who you are, I'm not scarce on chances. You're one of the people that, you don't have unlimited chances with me, but I think you have more than Joey right now, I'd say. But I can obviously tell that you still have your defenses up. Because even with all the cameras and the security outside, you still don't let me in a room alone with Junior. Not that I need to be, but I do sense the paranoia even for your sister. Okay, Regina, come on. Look at my life. Look at everything that's led up to this point, to this conversation between you and I. Can you blame me? Can you at all blame me for feeling the way that I do? I feel like I say this to everyone. Like, why is it so hard for people to understand that I have paranoia? Of course I understand, but can you understand why I'd be a little offended as your sister? That as your sister I'm shuffled in with everybody else that you're paranoid about? You know what I mean? Like, there's no difference between me, your sister, and your former mother-in-law. Why do you need to be in the room with Junior alone, though? Answer me that. Odd request. I don't. That's not the point. Okay, but again, back to the understanding thing. When you say things like that, it raises red flags for me. Do you understand why it raises red flags for me? Come on. Okay, sorry. I'm not trying to set off any red flags for you. I just was curious why you still don't trust me, but obviously I guess it's because I haven't been in your life in the past year or so, and I get it. I'm just sensitive, you know me. Just know, Gina, I'm happy you're back, and I want us to remain sisters that can talk. But I have no shame in cutting people off. I know that, Miranda. You know, I know it ain't my place to say this. I shouldn't be, it don't matter what I think. But man, it is nice seeing you and Miranda coexist. You know, I left you guys and I regret it. But for whatever reason, I never thought that I would see y'all in the same room together with me, and it's nice. Yeah, that's all well and good, but she gets on my nerves sometimes, Dad. Oh, come on now, what do you expect? She said it herself, I'll have her in the next room. How do you want her to be? She's very guarded, even with me. She has cut herself off from mostly everybody. And the chances that people do get with her, they're meaningful. You shouldn't squander them. Yeah, but she acts like she's the queen. You know, she just treats herself like royalty, like she's Kim Kardashian and I'm supposed to like wait outside for her autograph or something. She guards herself like we're all chopping at the bit to get the treasure or something, you know? Shouldn't we all treat ourselves like we king and queens and princesses, whatever you want for yourself? Shouldn't we all have that confidence? If I'm her kids, I would want mommy to have that confidence, you know? My question to you is why did you bring up the being in the room alone with Junior and the trust thing? Why are you pushing those buttons when she's welcomed you in her home? Because it's offensive. I have a right to be offended. Don't you see the theme, though? Don't you see the contrasting narratives between her and her old mother-in-law? Her mother-in-law, and I don't say old as in like, you know, mid-50s. I'm saying her former mother-in-law. Her mother-in-law believes in blood and sticking in water. Can't cut family off, they are bound to you like limbs. Miranda, on the other hand, is her complete opposite. She don't give a rat's ass about cutting family off just like that. Blood is not thicker than water. Everything else is thicker than water. You get what I mean? So just be grateful that you're in her presence, but you ain't working with your mother or something, right? Now I'm offended again because why would you ask such a question to me? You know, I let you back in my life too. Cause I'm here to protect my daughter. Even if it means protecting my daughter from my other daughter.